house and its saver. Frank Morgenstern bought the house in 2002. He spent a long time of thinking because it looked like so many properties with building stock neglected in the former GDR. Still, he took the risk and started to modernize the building. The greatest problem he had to face were the moist walls. But then he heard about DRYMAT. At first I was skeptical because I could not imagine that a system like that could really work. I had obtained a few other proposals involving solving and other methods, but they were simply too expensive given the size of this house. So I decided to call the company offering that system and ask them to visit and tell me if it was feasible and what it would cost. In contrast to all other proposals, this one was financially realizable. But he still continued to be careful. The construction founder knows that the cheapest solution is not always the best solution. The decisive point was that I would not have to fear structural damage to the house using the DRYMAT system, as it does not involve any intervention in the building stock itself. So I figured that if it would not work, the company could just remove the device again without any disadvantages on my part. But that did not happen. In February 2003, the DRYMAT system was installed in the basement of the apartment building. Frank Morgenstern himself determined the measuring points where the drying process was supposed to be monitored. In September 2003, he knew that it did work. The basement became lighter, friendlier, and the moldy smell was gone. I asked my foreman whether they had made any changes down there, but he answered in the negative and said that just the plaster has suddenly started to crumble down. The walls would become dry and the dark, wet brick would become lighter. That was the point where I realized that something had changed now. The walls, which used to be moist up to the second floor, are now completely dry. This is an important aspect for the 9 families who have found a home in the house in Wilka-Haslau in the meantime. And Frank Morgenstern keeps relying on the DRYMAT system. In 2003 I had initially installed the system in the upper part of the house. Last year I decided to extend it to the second part of the house as well, which I have bought at a later point in time. So I bought the system once again.